quotes, though, I do not believe. That you are. Chris at least hopped in and started doing stuff, spelling stuff wrong. Oh, did you? Oh. There it is. Can't believe that fucking Activision thing still. Might just need to copy and paste some of these and move them together so that I make sure that I talk about them. Oh, how was your weekend, guys? I don't know what Chris did. Chris wasn't in V Rising like all weekend. He did like a Pepsi Man thing. I saw that. Where's the other thing I was going to do? Oh, there it is. What? There's a different guy who redid the UE thing, the UE5 thing in Dreams. Oh, did he? Oh, he died a year ago. So yes, he did die a year ago. When did he die? Like exactly a year apart? Oh. What was the other Top Gun expansion? Ace Combat? 5, right? I mean, you are an idiot, but we don't need an article to tell us that. Oh, Ace Combat 7? No, I don't. Oh, God. Oh yeah, what was the name? Because I watched that thinking, wow, this is like a Dead Space. I'll just go ahead and move some of these. What else was there? There wasn't a whole lot. Oh, that's right. Got that. Oh wait, RE4 is not getting the VR. Oh yeah, it is, and then RE8 VR as well. Okay. But it's coming for the VR2, PSVR2. Yes. Man, Nevi stream shouted you out, but it was rude. But it was rude about it. Okay. Oh, the Walking Dead chapter, Saints and Sinners chapter 2, Retribution. Horizon Call of the Mountain. Oh, Horizon Call of the Mountain, which they've already shown that off. I sat there and I was like, we've already seen this exact thing. Oh, Street Fighter 6. I gotta move that into here too. Yep. No, I'm not. Oh, I am. Uh, 10, 9.
Here comes 2.
Comes the Pepsi Man.
Oh god.
Hi, I'm Eric.
I'm Jason.
And I'm Chris.
Oh, I thought you were Pepsi.
And where I beat it first. Yay!
That was a soft opening.
Oh my god. What do you mean that was a soft
Speaking of
opening?
Pepsi Man. Speaking of Pepsi Man, that was a soft opening. Soft. Super soft.
Well, usually the NVIDIA broadcast cuts it out. It's the problem with using NVIDIA broadcast. It likes to just cut things out.
Yeah. It misses all my whisper jokes. I make a ton of great whisper jokes, but you never know that because it cuts it out. Yeah, see?
Into the microphone so that it picks it up.
No. I don't want to.
You have to.
Then it's not whispering. Now I'm just talking quietly in a mic. You can't whisper in a mic. You gotta.
It's comedy ASMR. It's comedy ASMR.
You gotta say it underneath your breath. Comedy ASMR. Is that what you just said? Is that what we're doing now?
Yeah, comedy ASMR. That's what we're doing. We're gonna do it. Oh god, it's Pepsi Man.
I think I still have.
Fucking Pepsi Man. I bet Jason still has Pepsi Man. I swear it. He's got to have Pepsi Man somewhere. For those of you that don't know, Jason. Oh my god.
Pepsi Man stream.
There should be. We need a Pepsi Man stream, dude.
Oh man, it is.
We need a Pepsi Man stream so hard, like so much harder than you think. We need it.
So
we gots to has it. We gots to has it.
So much better.
Yeah. That's all right. I got to do this real quick because it's necessary.
Ooh, nice. Good job.
Paying myself to stream
job.
for 19 straight months, everybody.
Good job. Cheers to that.
Oh man. Prost. Okay, so what are we drinking, guys?
I'm doing a rye whiskey tonight. Some Bullet. Why not? Keeping it
Standard.
Fresh. Standard? No,
Standard.
I mean it's like standard to be IPA or something like that. I don't know.
No, I mean that's your standard though.
Oh, fair. Yeah.
Bullet Rye is like your standard whiskey.
It's like my go-to. It's like I walk into Costco and they're just like, yeah, here you go.
It's $35 for a handle.
Dude, it's so good. It's so fucking good too. You can't go wrong with it. You can't go wrong.
Thank you for the gift sub, HPG. You didn't have to do that. That was very nice. But Omni Griffin gets some emotes, which is awesome. Yeah. Omni is a friend of ours that does D&D with me every week. Every week-ish. We haven't done it for 2 weeks. But we have D&D this week. It has been confirmed by God. God told me that we would have D&D this week. Because
and then not for another 2 weeks.
And then not for another 2 weeks because I'm going to be on vacation.
Oh, man.
But we have to finish our boss battle where God is probably going to try and kill my patron. Or me. One of the two. So we'll see. I think that God is getting sick and tired of Eldritch Blast. Because no matter what, I'm like, oh, where's that bad guy at? Hang on, let me measure. Yep, nope, he is within firing distance. Eldritch Blast. But anywho, Chris, what you got?
Nothing too special. Just got some truly margarita style. So I got the strawberry hibiscus and the watermelon cucumber.
Nice. I have some Knob Creek. So I'm putting some knob in my mouth, everybody. And then
standard for you.
Yep.
Standard.
And then I have limited visibility from our good friends at Mother Road Brewing. Just as weary travelers find rest and relaxation in roadside motels along historic Route 66, you'll find a respite from life's journey with our hazy IPA. When the road is unclear, take a pause with our straw-colored beer featuring hop-derived aromas and flavors of citrus, tropical, and stone fruits. What the fuck are stone fruits?
I mean, you got a pair between your legs, right?
Those are my stones, not my stone fruits.
They're your stones, fruit.
I mean, next time I'll be expecting some cocktail. Fruit.
Such a good movie, man.
I actually just was telling one of my coworkers, I'm like, you haven't seen Half Baked yet, have you? And she's like, no. I'm like, you need to see Half Baked. She's like, well, who's in it? I'm like, Dave Chappelle. She's like, oh, okay. I'm like, yeah. And then I told her Jim Brewer, and she's like, who's Jim Brewer? And she had to look him up. She's like, oh, I know that guy. I'm like, yeah, you're 24 years old, and a baby, little teeny baby.
You have no idea.
Mm-hmm. Have no idea. She was talking about how she's going to go see Top Gun tomorrow. The new one, Top Gun Maverick. And she hasn't seen the first one. I'm like, even Ronan's seen the first one.
I mean, 80% of that movie is gunning on you knowing that I haven't seen the first one.
Well, that's what I told her. I'm like, okay, so I'm not gonna tell you, like specifics, but you need to see it because two of the characters in the first and the second are directly related. Like, you need to know. Okay, so stone fruit is peaches, plums, and cherries, things with pits in them. Thanks, HPG.
Or a
you
stone,
the real
as it
star.
can be called.
You the real hero. I mean,
them fruits be stoned, man. Them fruits be stoned.
Pepsi Man seal of approval.
Oh god.
There you go.
No Pepsi Man. So the difference being though with those ones is that those are fruits that are. Let's talk about not archaeology, agriculture. Those are fruits that are designed that you take the whole fruit and you bury it in the ground and a tree can sprout from it because the fruit is designed to have all the nutrients in it, as opposed to apples and oranges and lemons and limes, which are designed for the seeds to be eaten by birds and then shat out all over the countryside.
Johnny Appleseed was full of shit.
No. Yeah, Johnny Appleseed was full of shit. That John Denver's full of shit.
Another great movie, man. We're doing good today. This is a good podcast. We're doing a good job.
Good podcasting.
We're a video game podcast making all the classic movie references
quotes
that no one will really understand because they are like deep cuts anymore, which is sad. They shouldn't be deep cuts.
They shouldn't be.
Like Dumb and Dumber should just be like, oh yeah, they taught us this in grade school. We had to watch this. It's part of history now. I would get behind that. I would get behind them being like, hey, we have to watch Dumb and Dumber because of two reasons. Number one,
this will teach you why you should stay in school.
And then number two, teach you why you stay in school. Don't do this. Like how popular were the "Don't do it, Donnie, don't does" type bullshit. And it's just like, here's 2 hours of absolute zaniness that you're all gonna love, but just don't do that. Like don't sell people a parrot's head fell off. Like that's just don't do that.
Our pets' heads are falling off.
Heads are falling off.
How do you know I had gas? Just so many short one-liners, but that's like Billy Madison, same thing. I always figured you'd go with Billy Madison to explain why you want to keep in school, but you do want to keep in school, and it shows that he had to go back to school so that he could prove to Dad that he wasn't a fool.
Yep.
Back to school.
Thank you. Somebody else sang it instead of me because I was getting real close to doing it. So we were sitting in VC the other day, and I made a Dazed and Confused reference, and Gunnar, who's 19, he'd never seen it. I'm like, you probably have never seen this. He's like, no. I'm like it's great because it's Matthew McConaughey's breakout role. It was like his most famous early role, and he said shit like, "That's why I like them high school girls. I get older, they stay the same age." And he's like, "What?" So I'm like, wait, hang on. I bet somebody's made a supercut of all of Wooderson's lines, and I pull it up, and not only has someone made a supercut, Universal Pictures made a supercut of every one of Wooderson's lines and put it on YouTube in 2019. And we just watched it. It's 6 minutes long. We watched the entire thing, and I was explaining to Gunnar, I'm like, this movie is literally just the longest night ever. And he's like, all that took place in one night? I'm like, yeah. Party gets broken up, new party. Party gets broken up, new party. Party gets broken up, new party. Smoking weed and drinking beer and fucking 50-yard line at the high school football field, getting picked up by the cops, going to buy tickets in I think they went to
Weren't you guys ever in
Dallas.
high school? This is like a Tuesday. Come on, get out of town.
It is like it is the
this
longest
also-
night ever though.
What this
Yes.
also proves is that Universal is still able to make quality content after COVID,
Yep. Well, that was pre-COVID. It was 2019.
which is when.
No, COVID started in 2020.
Okay, well, the rest of the world, I should say, China, was not dealing with it in 2020.
Oh man. Yeah, so that's what we're drinking, everybody. And
Wow, video game podcast.
That's our movie quote.
20 minutes in.
I think we're doing. I think we're doing well.
Well, we're
Perfect
like
time.
10 minutes into the podcast. 20 minutes in because I had a 10-minute starter because we needed to finish podcast notes. Yeah, the
Finish,
before
start.
times.
One of the two.
No, I started it like at like 7:50, and then
Speak for yourself.
I was doing stuff in Hemorrhage's chat, and then I jumped into Bulldogs VC, and I got like very little work done because I was trying to help Hemorrhage with like some of her technical issues. But it's okay. But I guess we can get on to news now because we're done talking about our alcohol. Or are we still gonna go
Let's
on
do it.
tangents? We gonna go on tangents?
No,
Tangrams?
We're gonna have tangents. Don't worry. You don't
We're gonna
plan
go-
tangents. That's the whole fucking plan. That's
We'll
the
have
point,
tangents. We'll have
We'll have
tangents.
them.
Trust
They-
me, it's
they
gonna
will,
happen.
They will
happen.
arise. They will happen.
They will rise. Okay, well, let's start. Since we're getting so close to E3, I want to take us on a trip. Way back in the
Your
Wayback
rocket ship?
Machine. No. We're not zooming through the sky. We're going in the Wayback Machine. We're traveling back in time to a year when Dell apparently seemed kind of cool and
The
interesting.
year 2000.
It wasn't the year 2000. It was the
year 2000.
2015. I think it was 2015. 2016, something like that. One of those years, Dell and Alienware had like this cool ass fucking VR like PC backpack that they showed off. And
Did I interview them or did you interview them during that time? I don't remember.
we interviewed them. Like
Yeah, they interviewed
Like,
us.
We just.
yeah,
that's
and they
right.
interviewed us.
That was so random. Hey,
It
can you
was
come
the
see my
weirdest
backpack?
thing ever.
Sure, jump on our stream. Just like
Want to come onto our
off the
YouTube
stream.
channel? Fuck yeah, okay. I didn't know Alienware had a YouTube channel that broadcast live, but sure, we'll do that. Talked
Yeah,
about our
right.
podcast, did our stuff. That was our like 20 seconds of fame or whatever you want to say.
Yep.
And then and this is back when I was still working at Game Truck, which is a mobile video game company that deals in entertainment and like events and parties and stuff. And we're like, cool, we'll keep in touch, we'll get some information, blah 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 blah. We didn't hear much from them over the next year. So then the next year we go back to the E3 and we stop at the Dell booth and we're like, hey, we just wanted to see if there was an update or any information on it. And they had the most dickhead motherfucker at
Biggest
E3
dickhead.
working at the booth. This guy was
No,
a
they
fucking
called him over.
prick.
They
yeah.
called him
Oh yeah,
over.
no, but I'm like working at the booth. So they call him over and he's like, well, were you guys wanting to buy some? And like thinking us as just like fucking like imbeciles, as like just standard plebs. And we're like, no, we're from a website. We gave you guys an award last year. We were on your YouTube channel. We do a podcast. And 2, I work for a multi-million-dollar company that does events and is looking for a VR thing, you fucking dick. I'm like, at this point, we were like, yeah, I don't want to work with this fucker. He's a dick. But why are we talking about this? Well, Zotac, right before E3 2022, has released their 4th PC backpack, showing that Alienware missed out on it because it's actually, like, they're being used now. Dell and Alienware kind of like started this whole thing where they had hot swappable battery packs and all sorts of things, and they never went anywhere with it. And now Zotaec's on their 4th one. There are VR places that utilize these things, and it's kind of cool. And it's smart because especially now with laptop GPUs where they're at, like you could totally drop in a super high powerful GPU into one of these things and go. And I don't think Dell's ever going to touch it again.
No, I mean, they even said when we talked to that asshole back then that was more or less just a proof of concept that they could do it if need be, and they didn't have any biters.
We can do it.
Like,
we can do it.
Yeah, it's just like, all right, dude, sounds great. Enjoy.
This guy was a grade A meathead, by the way. Like I'm doing the like we can do it like that. Like that's literally what he looked like when he was saying shit. Like it's just like, God, you're that guy that I fucking hate. Like he's like a used car salesman. It was kind of like
one of those people that's really into Bang energy drink for like all the wrong reasons.
He was really into banging Bang energy drink.
That's true.
I think he fucked a can. And it's okay because we haven't said his name yet, so we're totally fine just bad mouthing this motherfucker because he knows who he is, but nobody else knows who we're talking about.
I really hope he knows who he is. I really hope that he's just like scouring the internet one day, being like, check out this fucking podcast.
Hang on.
I think I have a business card with that bullshit.
Where's my business cards from E3?
I know. I have my.
Hang on. I want to find them. They're somewhere. I have them.
I have a bunch right here.
Oh, I want to go looking through them so badly.
I'm not going to go through them.
I want to go through them so much. I also have a fuck ton and a half of lanyards that I need to put up in the office somewhere. Like, I don't even care if I put up like all my lanyards, but my E3 ones are the cool ones. Yeah. The E3 ones were the dope ones. And I don't have any of them up anywhere. I've got an E3 award right over there.
I got the awards. Yeah, I got mine over there.
Yeah. People can't see. People can kind of see it. They can see the little outline of it. It's like a smudge on my background. But I got the E3 awards, which we'll be handing out not E3 awards most likely, provided that there's something to award this year. There we go. There's a 2016 one. I have a 2017 one. So that might have been the year. I think it was 2016 because it was, I think, the first year that we had those. Is that one foam? Actually, that one, of course it's foam. That one's still foam, too. But anyways, fuck you, Dell. Moving on. Disney Dreamlight Valley has been announced, and it's basically Disney Animal Crossing, and I don't have a problem with that. Anybody else?
I don't have a problem with it, but it's just like, I feel like it's too late, like too little too late type thing. I mean, Animal Crossing left such a void in its wake, like that they shut it down and don't have any replacements.
Well, it's not shut down. I mean, it's still running, but they're not making anything else for it, which is stupid.
I mean, the game will run until 2061. Is that what that article said or whatever and stuff like that? Where if you try to time travel past that, like a certain date in 2061, it's just like, hold up. We don't have anything for you to do anymore. Turn back time and restart. Like literally just being like, we're done. You're all dead. Everyone that bought this game is dead.
Turn back time. If I could find a way. What?
Thanks, Tina.
No. That wasn't Tina Turner.
Turn back time? Isn't that Tina Turner?
No, it's not.
If I could reach that, it's Cher.
If I could turn back time. Sorry, I didn't do it. If I could find a way. It was the lead singer of Volbeat. It was the lead singer of Volbeat. It was Cher.
Oh man, yeah, you threw me off with your alto action. I don't know.
Because I didn't do the like super breathy way of singing it. Share.
Yeah, you gotta make your lips as big as possible. You gotta think like if
someone give me like 6 collagen injections.
If Julia Roberts were to sing right now, how would she sound? You just be like, well, you should go like this, and you're like, if I could burn, and it's just like, shit, I got it. We're done.
Oh man.
But yes, it was 2016 when they had the VR backpack.
It was 2016. Okay, cool. And then 2017 was the year that they didn't get an award. So,
All right, so if you worked for Dell and you're at E3 in
2017, you were
there's
a
good
VP of
chance
sales.
One of you were a dick. Oh, the VP of sales.
He was a
That's right,
VP of sales. I remember that too. Just remember, you're a piece of shit asshole that that
He's
we
definitely
don't
not there
like.
anymore because he was a dickhole.
Oh, he
But yeah,
probably is not.
I
You know
love
what
it.
he's doing? He's probably selling used cars again.
Used cars, absolutely.
And he's
I can
part
see
of the
that.
he's part of the market that is driving up the pricing. I bet you. I bet you.
He's probably selling used computers. It's probably like, dude, you could totally mine your crypto on this.
He's selling crypto used and abused GPUs for retail.
That's him.
Yep.
That's him. 100%. He's the one taking them back and then reselling them real quick. I don't know. Ridiculous.
And NFTs.
Yeah, that guy's a dick.
He's definitely selling NFTs.
Oh, he's
Yes.
totally an NFT, bro. He's
Oh!
totally an NFT, bro.
No, he's not
quit
selling
his
them. He's
job.
buying them and collecting
He's buying
them.
them. He quit his job.
Yeah.
He quit his job at Dell. He's just like, dude, I'm buying an NFT. And then he's just been all up on that. And then bullshit. I don't know. I hate NFT so much.
But you like them for the artists.
Oh, yeah.
I
mean,
love
art's not the
NFTs for
problem.
the artists. Like I got no problem with that.
Art's not the problem when it's art and stuff like that. I mean, I have some qualms with like the lazy gorillas and all that jazz like that because while the idea is kind of neat, if you're buying it because you think your gorilla looks really cool, I got news for you, bro. It doesn't look cool.
It doesn't look cool. Not at all.
Segue.
Yeah, good segue there. Seth Green can't do his NFT show because it got stolen by a phishing scam, just like I think it was like most of those gorilla ones.
Yeah, a lot of the gorilla ones
Yeah.
did.
Jesus Christ.
A lot of the
people.
gorilla ones did. And a lot of the other, there's another NFT break like 2-3 weeks ago. It's just like, all right, yeah, I mean, technically I've stolen 1 million NFTs just by, going into my cash.
I mean, that's true. Or doing this nifty thing called copy paste. Or if you really feel fun, open up screen capture or snip and clip or sketch or whatever it is that you use and screenshot that bad boy.
Before we get so much NFT bro hate mail, we do understand the algorithm behind it. We do understand the proper ownership that goes with it.
No,
But before you start
you know what?
explaining
Send the
to us-
hate mail. Fuck it. I want to
You're done.
see it. I want to read it on air. I'm going to devote either an entire podcast or an entire Twitch stream to just reading this NFT like vitriol. Yeah, this horrible stuff. I want to read it. I want to read you fucking bros. saying
Any
it.
NFT Karens out there, please hit us up at nft@ibeatitfirst.com. We would love to hear from you.
Is it just easier to fish them? Yes. It apparently seems a whole lot easier to fish NFTs than to try and break the algorithm. Break stupidity rather than computer code.
Oh, I'll fungal all day. I'll fungal all of your fungaliers.
But poor Seth Green, he was so stoked about making something new, which he hasn't done in I don't know how fucking long.
Well,
'Cause
he
Robot
keeps turning
Chicken
money
is,
with
like,
Robot
forever
Chicken. Yeah, it's
old.
just like who gives a shit. Same thing with Family Guy. Like, who gives a shit anymore? So,
But no, he keeps
still
making
do
stuff
it.
though.
I think he
Seth
should
MacFarlane
do
keeps
it,
making
just to
stuff
be like,
though. He made Ted,
Yeah.
and then he
Didn't
made Ted
wait,
too.
no, well, Seth MacFarlane also has the Orville, right? And
Yeah, and the Orville,
I
which
think-
season 3 is finally coming out, apparently. I was like, holy shit, I thought they killed that show. And then I see season 3, I'm
like
like,
5
whoa!
years, right?
Yeah, it's been forever since they made another Orville season. I was like, holy shit, wow, okay. But yeah, Seth MacFarlane's actually doing stuff. Seth Green, I don't know what he's doing other than trying to...
Seth Green's on Family Guy too. He's fucking Chris over
Yeah, but what is he doing? What is he actively
Dr. Evil shit.
making? Dr.
Robot
Evil
Chicken.
Jr. shit. But that's it. It's Robot Chicken. He hasn't made anything new, whereas Seth MacFarlane
He's pretty
has.
fine with that crap. He's piloting the Normandy. What do you need him to do, man? He's
Right?
so busy. He's
No,
so
that's Seth
busy.
MacFarlane.
No,
not Seth
piloting the
Green.
Normandy,
Mass
that's Seth
Effect.
Green.
Oh,
Mass
yeah.
Effect. Yeah, he's piloting the Normandy.
That's right. Not
No, but Seth
immediately
Green should
went back
still
to
move
Orville.
forward with the NFT. She should still make the NFT show because this is a great part of it. Like in my opinion, like do it.
The
Like, now
NFT
you
got
can make
stolen.
fun of
I
it
still
for what it
technically own
is.
the rights. Fuck
Yeah,
it.
Exactly. Who gives a shit? Yeah, who gives a fucking shit? You know what? You think that the Mona Lisa in the Louvre is the real one? Yeah. Guess what? It's probably not.
Probably not.
Probably not.
But they'll never
No one
tell
will
you
know.
that.
No, and no one will care. Yeah, exactly.
No, people will
Exactly.
know, but they'll never tell anybody because nobody wants to admit that it got stolen.
No,
at
because
some
if
point.
Assassin's Creed
Yeah.
is anything to go off of, the original one's in some guy's basement, and this is the one from even Leonardo doesn't even know or knows that it's a fake. He's the only one who took it to the grave. So we're good because the code in it that was going to lead to the piece of Eden has been removed, and everyone can take pictures of it with no problem without seeing, Mona Lisa's third eyeball, which is there on the side of her head. Hidden fact, that's why she was only slightly smiling, because it hurt. That's why. But they removed that out. You wanted the tangents, right? I'll give you them. I'll give you them all day.
Oh, speaking of tangents, the Twisted Metal series has cast Will Arnett as Sweet Tooth.
What the sweet tooth baby fucking Christ Jesus is that shit?
This show already looked like steaming garbage with casting Anthony Mackie as unnamed character just for the sake of casting Anthony Mackie. And I mean, I like Will Arnett.
Oh, I love Will Arnett.
He
I
is
love-
he is actually technically one of the better Batman.
from Lego Batman.
Yeah.
And speaking of Lego, the Lego Masters TV show is amazing because
Oh, that show is amazing. Has the new
Yeah,
season
and he
started
does a great
yet?
job. I've only seen the 2. I don't know if it's about a third one.
It
or
usually
anything like
starts around this time of year, but we usually wait and then just binge watch them all. I love Lego
Of course.
Masters. Lego Masters is amazing. It's such a cool one. Actually, Ronan and Shannon were doing their own little Lego Masters. They fucking built Hogwarts over the weekend.
Nice.
It was a big ass set. It's like 1176 pieces. So yeah. Oh god, fuck the Assassin's Creed movie though.
Yeah.
that. Oh god,
Fuck
that
that.
movie.
The
Hey,
movie was awful.
another year, another talk about how shitty the Assassin's Creed movie is on the I Beat It First podcast, everybody. The movie that was so
night-
bad that I fell asleep in the first 30 minutes of it and went, I don't need to go back and watch that. It was so bad.
I watched maybe like
The
10,
more
15 minutes and I'm like, I'm turning this off.
Yeah.
The more I think about it too, and it's like we talk about stuff like that, the Uncharted movie, not so bad. Not so
I
bad.
still haven't seen it. I need to watch
I
it.
enjoyed
Let's
it.
see it.
Just like I need to watch
thoroughly.
Morbius. Just to say that I
No,
watched
you don't.
it.
It's Morbin time.
It's Morbin time.
Just
yeah.
Just watch Mario Brothers, the original 1998 movie.
Oh
96
god,
movie.
no.
So that that should be the new Rick roll. Be like, hey, I'm gonna watch Morbius, and really it's just a link to the Super Mario Brothers original movie. That's
That's
gonna
even
be just
worse?
Like 10 times
Wait.
better.
But which is worse?
It's Mario time.
Which one is worse, I guess, is the big question, because that movie fucking sucks. Don't even tell me.
I will
Classic.
watch. I will
God
watch. I will
Damn
watch
it.
the Mario
That movie was
any day
quality.
of the
Fuck
year.
you, hippie guy.
You put me in a room and just like watch Morbius or watch Mario. I will walk in the morning. I will pay you money to go watch. Like, you're gonna give me popcorn because I'll fucking give you like $10 right now, and I'll go watch that Mario movie. No problem. No fucking problem. They're just
Yeah.
like, hey, you want to watch Morbius, and we'll pay you $10, and also here's like some caramel corn. I'd be like, you know what? I got some games to play.
Oh,
That's
okay.
simple.
So that's another
That's
thing
simple.
that we didn't put onto the news section that we totally should have. So Morbius, with all of its meme backing, Sony decided to bring back into movie theaters and do a whole new relaunching and do everything. Like, yeah, we were coming back. We're going to go to 1,000 theaters. It averaged $88 a theater this weekend.
Shut the fuck up.
It made
that's not real.
$88,000. Yes, I swear. It's
They're gonna blame it all on Top Gun. They're just gonna blame it on Top
relaunching.
Gun.
Oh yeah, they'll blame it on Top Gun. It's the fucking Universal. They ruined our Morbius relaunch. but Morbius came out like 2 weeks after Top Gun. Which, by the way, I didn't know that Tom Cruise has never had $100,000 movie opening until now.
You mean $100 million?
Or $100 million,
$100
$100 million dollar movie opening. like opening
So
weekend.
he technically still hasn't, because the way that they calculated that 115 or 115 million dollars, they also took in the first couple days of it being released like 3 years ago, and so they counted it all as one. Yes, dead serious.
But it
So it's
wasn't
just like
done
opening
3 years
weekend.
ago.
Yeah.
No, well, whatever. When they first released it, like the first time, because it was done like whatever.
They never
like,
released
last
it.
year.
Yeah.
Yes, they did. They were like, "Hey, it's coming out." Then COVID hit, and it was just like, "Never mind, we're not doing it."
Oh, last year, but not 3 years ago.
Yeah, I don't remember the timeline. It's been like 800 years in the last 2. I don't know
So-
what the fuck's going on with time anymore.
So I was reading an article about that earlier. That apparently Universal has been hit with a lawsuit from the people that own the rights to Top Guns, which is what the original Top Gun was based off of, because they lost the rights and didn't reacquire them back in 2021 to make a movie about it, and they're now saying that they sent a cease and desist, so they have to pull it from the theaters, or they have to pay them like exorbitant amounts of money, yada yada yada, which will be weird because this could be the first time that we actually have like a federal ruling that they're allowing for a contract like that to be extended due to COVID.
That's
Yeah.
interesting. That is very interesting, actually.
That's a
The
weird
implications of that, the
Yeah.
implications of that are kind of
are insane. Like
Yeah.
I was reading that earlier and I was like, this could be really, really nuts. Yeah.
Time to start claiming that we have the rights to things. How many trademarks do we have? We have like 1 billion. We've been doing
Tons of them.
this podcast for
LonelyHouseplants.com.
Dude, we have a lot. We
Yeah.
have a lot. There's no reason that someone probably didn't make a movie of one of our bullshit things out there. So I mean, we should like start going back.
Mhm.
Yeah, let's retcon this shit, man. Let's
Yep.
retire tomorrow.
Let's do it.
Let's do this
I'm gonna do it.
podcast next week in Fiji. I'm ready. I'm ready.
Yeah.
Okay, so going back to what we were talking about, Will
Morbius.
Arnett, best best Batman.
We told you there would be tangents.
None of the sweet
do.
sweet tooth bullshit. I refuse. I want Will Arnett to
I'm
only
still-
be
I'm
the face
still
of Lego
super
and
confused.
Lego Batman.
I'm still super confused on how they're gonna make a show about this.
I have
Because
no
you'd
idea.
You'd have to take away all the zaniness of the cars. And it would
No.
have to be like Death Race,
No, they don't.
basically. And then it would just be, or it has to be super computerized.
All right,
in which case it'll be bullshit.
Picture this. The Purge with only cars.
Like Death Race,
Like Death Race, but it's not a race.
right? But I mean,
It's
what
a-
the
it's a
fuck else are you
fucking-
gonna do in cars? You're not gonna just sit there and park and be like,
It's a
"Ah,
demolition
ah,
derby."
da, 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 da."
It's a demolition
Right.
derby.
It's got to be a demolition derby. It's
Yeah.
got to be a demolition derby, and it'll be they're all friends and not friends, and it'll be like your
Except for
rivalries
Sweet
and stuff like
Tooth,
that, and all
because
the-
no one wants to be
the
friends with
entire
Will Arnett.
thing. The
No.
entire thing will all be like locker room talk, because you can't have it all be the action all the time. Like you can't the budget for that would be out of
Wait.
this world, and then
Oh,
there'd be no
okay.
dialogue.
I was like, wait, why can't you have it be all action all the time? But yes,
Just
you're right.
legitimately,
Budgetary
yeah.
restrictions won't allow that, especially for a show.
Yeah,
Although,
for a show.
aren't they paying like what is it? It's like isn't it like $100 million an episode or something like that for Halo? How much was it to do each
Oh, yeah.
episode of Halo?
I think it was like 100.
Raise your hand if you watched a single episode. Raise your hand if you watched 2 episodes. Raise your hand if you watched 3 episodes. Oh, did you watch them all?
I think I watched 4.
Okay.
And that's
Okay.
when
I didn't watch
put
a
my
single
hand
one.
down. When I read
Still didn't watch a single
spoiler alert, when I read that Master Chief bangs that weird Covenant chick, I was like, maybe I don't need to watch this anymore. And yes, as chat says, Netflix is making a One Piece live action show. They say it's a war crime. However, they're making giant fucking ships for this. Like big ass ships. I've seen photos of it on the internet of the set that they're making big motherfucking galleons to do the One Piece stuff on. It's
One
probably
Piece, I
still horrible.
One Piece, it'll be bad. It'll be bad. I mean, I'm not going to try to defend that, but One Piece is probably the only anime that I can think of that would be like actually easier to transition into live action because it's just so fucking off the walls at times. That'd just be easy. Just be like, you could explain anything.
Cowboy
Like, just be
Bebop
like,
though.
Cowboy Bebop was actually amazing. I'm sorry, I
Yeah,
really
I
liked
like Cowboy.
But-
Well, I was just
but-
saying though. You were saying like about craziness because Cowboy Bebop is fucking nuts. Every episode was different.
Cowboy Bebop should have been a direct done. Like they should have.
It should have.
Made
You
it
know.
right.
You know what? Actually, you know what would be even better than the One Piece one. Jason will get this one. Excel Saga, live action. 100% batshit zaniness the entire time.
It'd be so impossible. When you get to the scene of the guy being raped by the sun, it falls apart real fast.
I wish I could say that doesn't happen. Pedro has sex with the sun. Pedro! I fucking love that show. It is so batshit nuts. What was the one with the two schoolgirls? That you
80% of anime.
No. It was batshit crazy. The one that you loved, Jason. And they would show like they had like
Pop Team Epic.
Yeah, Pop Team Epic. Very similar to that, but it was zaniness way before Pop Team Epic was even like a thought. And the original
cohesive.
Yeah,
reason
and it was a cohesive story, and they actually had like one of the best DVD. That's right, DVD features that you could possibly have for an anime of this caliber, and that was they made a pop-up video version that pointed out every fucking pop reference. So the entire time that you're watching this, you see bing, 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 like literally just shit pointing things out. Weird people doing strange shit in the fucking bushes behind, like in the background, stuff like that.
For those of you born after 1994, pop-up video was a popular thing that VH1,
On VH1,
another video TV show program that would show music videos, would show older music videos with pop-up information about the making of that video or pop trivia about that video and stuff like that. It was back in the day one of the only ways you could look up information about a video that they would give to you, because it's not like you just surf the web for this shit. So,
that was well before Google was a thing. Pop-up video was great. I loved watching it.
Pop-up
You
video
get all
was
these
fantastic.
weird-ass facts. Sometimes they'd tell you how much coke they did on a tour, like all sorts of weird-ass stuff that would happen in there. It was great.
How tight the Bee Gees jeans were, it was fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
It was just, you needed that.
You want to know how tight they were? Stay alive. That's how tight they were.
Oh, my God.
So fucking tight. All right.
The tightest.
All right. All right. So I'm gonna do this one first because then we'll segue straight into the next one because we're not even gonna talk about this that much. Diablo Immortal has finally come out, everybody, and don't play it because they still suck. Jason says that it's also a heavy pay to win. So if you're into that, you could do that maybe. But to add icing onto the cake of Activision Blizzard sucking, there are now reports and a possible lawsuit from the government that they may have illegally threatened union organizers and tried to union bust like hardcore, which we already talked about that they probably were going to because they hired like a union busting law firm, but they've like legit been like strong arming people into not allowing this union to go through, which it's going through, as we've talked about in previous podcasts too. But yeah, fuck Activision Blizzard. This is your friendly weekly reminder or bi-weekly reminder. Fuck Activision Blizzard. They suck. Which really sucks because I had a friend that worked there and then they got let go years ago and it's like, okay, it's fine. I don't have to worry about it. And now I have another friend that works there and I think she was working on Diablo Immortal, but I'm still not going to play it. Sorry. Yeah.
I mean, I'll be the heel here and just be like, hey, I've heard it's actually kind of fun. I've heard that as long as you're like just wanting to play Diablo, it's a Diablo game. I've also heard it's gargantuan, takes up a shit ton of your space, and is worse of a battery drain than Genshin. But to each their own, in my opinion, for a lot of this stuff. If you've not even given a shit anymore, and you just want to play Diablo, here you go, play it. I have zero desire to play. I don't even like playing the seasons too much in regular Diablo, like Diablo 2, 3, and all that stuff like that. I don't even like playing it over and over again as it is. So it's just not my cup of tea anyway. Plus all this other bullshit. I'm just like, you know what? You do you, Blizzard. And by you do you, I mean class 2.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck them. Bunch of assholes. All right. Let's see here. Gameplay footage for Sonic Frontiers has shown up, everybody. And I don't know if I have thoughts on this yet. It looks okay.
The environment looks really pretty.
The environment looks pretty.
It looks like what they're trying to do, and I can't help but like shake the idea that they're Sonic movieing us. Where it's just like, hey guys, here's the like super early builds of how like we're going in a direction here that we can all like agree is nice, but it doesn't look completed, and we're just gonna kind of put it out there and let our own PR firm and developer research team, i.e., random trolls on the internet, tell us where to go next. And it worked out great for the movie, so why can't it work for the game, right? So I kind of feel like that's what's happening here a little bit.
Okay, so the only problem I have with it, like it looks good, like visually. It looks like they may have figured out the proper way to do a third person like view of Sonic and add it into a fully 3D world and put it on rails, but not quite on rails, but like that aspect looks good. I don't know how much I'm really into the fact that they are that like buildup of speed. Like I don't know about that. Like I just feel like the biggest problem is that your reaction time has to be really quick in order to do this 3D world thing with all the turns and everything like that. In order for them to do it justice of like the necessary speed that you have to have for Sonic. That's the biggest thing. Oh god.
And if you run into stuff and it stops you every single time, get out of town. No, stop. Don't stop. Like Sonic.
They actually didn't stop that much, but they did slow down quite a few times, and I don't know if they did that just because of the build and like they were trying to show it off, or if that was like literally it's like the game just like slowed him down to nothing because he had to look around and figure out what to go next. But he could run up the side of walls. He could bounce back and forth on things. He could ride rails. So there's all those. Chat reminded me of something that I didn't put into the news. Which I blocked out for a reason, but thank you, chat. Is that we have two werewolf game/expansions that got announced. The first one is Dragon Age Dreadwolf. Which the question is do they understand that they made Daddy Wolf with the DAD? 2 is fucking Sims 4 werewolves.
All is now following.
Oh my god. And I watched that video. I even watched it on stream when we were streaming last week, and I have no words.
I have a theory. And
Werewolf
it's been something I thought about for a long time. It's been something I've been thinking about for a long time. And that is that there's two classes of people that are gamers out there. And those are the Sims players. And then there's the furries. And I think as
they wanted to bring them together,
have been completely coming out more and more. I think we're finally to this point of them overlapping a little bit, and that's.
Let's be honest. I'm pretty certain that most of the furries were Sims players.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Like there's just an unconfirmed bias here, and I think that it's definitely.
You know what I didn't need in that Sims Werewolves release trailer though? Watching a Sim pee on the ground as a werewolf with censored out genitalia, but it was squatting just out in nature. I didn't need
furries, man. Furries, dude. Yeah, you did. Did it awaken something in you, Eric? Did it make you feel a little bit confused about
it?
What
Awakened my lunch, maybe a little bit.
Awakened your lunch into your pants, maybe?
No, into my throat. Actually, at the time that I watched it, it would have been my dinner because it was like 9 o'clock at night.
when you have.
But man, yeah, we did a just chatting we did a just chatting start to my to one of our streams the other day with my dumpster fire gift because I was like, I'm tired. I'm not camera worthy at all, man. Like, you guys don't need to see me like this. Like, I can like look like this, but I can feign like enthusiasm and like energy in my voice, but I can't do both. I can't feign like energy in my face and my voice for too long. So I'm just like I can do one or the other, and that's it. So I can be like this, but I'm just gonna be like, yeah, oh, I want to kill myself. All right, another sequel was announced. Chris was excited about this. I didn't hear much out of Jason, but I'm sure that Jason's excited about it. But Jedi Survivor has been announced.
Sequel to Fallen Order.
Yep. I mean, Fallen Order, it's hard to say, like, it looks good, because I'm like, it was just announced, and Fallen Order also looked good, so, I mean, hopefully they don't fuck it over. Hopefully it's a really good story still, and they continue on with everything, but we haven't had a whole lot to go off with that.
Look at you, EA.
Yeah, looking at you, EA.
Yeah, look 1,000% at EA, because, Fallen Order is a great game, but...
You want to know who else you can look at? You can look at the nice old country of France. Because France has officially banned English gaming terms such as esports and streaming, because French wants to maintain being the most uppity language on Earth.
Because streaming should be about pissing in the loo.
So going forward, the far more convoluted terms joyeux animateur indirect and jeux vidéo en nuage must be used for any government communications. That's right. They will not allow the slang terms of esports and streaming. Esports is now joyeux amateur indirect, and streaming is jeux vidéo en nuage.
This is like the most non-news thing, in my opinion.
But it's like, so stupid. It's so dumb.
Well, it's very dumb, but that's so government is what this is. Like, this is like 1,000%. No, you can't call it that. We're gonna make it official that you call it this other thing that makes no sense and doesn't even fucking matter. And everyone and their mom's gonna call it the other thing still. But you know what? If you have this, we're gonna arrest you for whatever fucking reason. It's just like, that's just dumb.
Oh my god!
And yes, chat. Thank you. HPGs knows what's up.
Wait. No, the best is
right here. It's right here. If you look at the Mona Lisa, it's just right there. It's just like, oh shit, what is that?
No, the best out of all of that is if you have the Twitch extension for better TTV or not Twitch, but the Chrome extension or Firefox or whatever browser you're using, you have that extension set in there. It literally shows it reads as fans is just trying to distract people from the fact that the Mona from Genshin Impact shaking her ass in front of the camera, Lisa, is a fake. Because if you type capital MONA, it's Mona's booty. I had to read that 3 times to understand what it was that he was saying, and if like it didn't put that in there, I would have been perfectly fine and read exactly that. But it's just I love it.
News.
It's
now
great.
That's news right there. That's the real shit.
Yep.
Where's that coverage?
That's the coverage right there.
That's the coverage. That's
We're bringing you.
We're now Mona's ass 24/7. All day, every day.
Yeah, if you don't have Better TTV installed into your browser as an extension, you really need it, because there's so many like different things that you can do that are just fucking amazing. Here we go. Like we got Boobasaur. I think we got 2 Boobasaurs actually in there. Yeah, we got 2 Boobasaurs. There's the Mona ass. There's also there's the cat hype, which I'm sure Jason will love. It's just so many better TTV things. It's great. Okay, moving on. We really should have talked about this earlier, but I completely forgot that it was a thing. Horizon Zero Dawn is also getting a TV show, and it's on its way to Netflix.
And that one I understand a little bit more easily. I mean, you can make that political pretty quickly, and having fun with that. There's enough dialogue, at least of that. At least there's dialogue, and not Twisted Metal, where there's literally nothing of dialogue. Whatever. It'll be cool. I'll watch that. I'll give that a good solid watch for a minute.
Maybe. I want to see who they've cast, because what's her name? They can't cast Ygritte, which would have been perfect.
Oh yeah.
During the heyday of Game of Thrones, if you cast her as Aloy. But she's older now. You can't cast her unless you age the character. So I feel like it's gonna be some kid actress that's just gonna.
I hope they. No, I hope they do find some good kid actress.
I hope she's good. I hope she's good.
Breakout, right? Yeah, she's got to be good. I mean, but you'd say that for every kid actress, right? But here we are looking at Stranger Things, being like, hey, these kids are doing pretty good. So
those kids actually did really well in season 1. So let's be honest here.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's possible. We wouldn't have Stranger Things 4 if these kids fucked it up in season 1. They could have easily been annoying little shits. No, they did a great job. Which
we have not finished Stranger Things season 4 because we're just kind of watching as it goes, and they're long episodes too. A couple of them are an hour and a half each. It's a fucking movie. Jeez. That's an hour and a half is a theatrical release movie. You can call that a theatrical release if it's an hour and a half. So there's some long fucking episodes. Forewarning to anybody that's watching it, it is very much horror movie style. Robert Englund does have a guest cameo in the 4th episode, I think it was. And there's a lot of spiders, which did not make me very happy. It wasn't as bad, though, watching all the spiders as watching the new Fantastic Beasts, The Secrets of Dumbledore, which is on Max, for anybody that's got HBO Max. And they have... I've always said, I don't have a problem with scorpions for some reason. Scorpions are okay. They have these weird spider, scorpion, monkey things. And, lots of them in this movie during a long, super elongated sequence. And all 3 of us in the house were freaked the fuck out by this. Ronan was so bad he had his head under the covers. It was just tell me when they're gone, tell me when they're gone. I'm that means I have to watch it. There were parts, okay, so Chad is saying they were so cute. There were parts where they're when they're doing the little dancing and whatnot, and then all of a sudden the giant fucking one appears and you're oh shit. Nope. Nope. Big ass bag of nope. Giant prison bag of nope. No. But it was a good movie. It was a Harry Potter movie. It was
I think I watched the second movie of that out of sequence, on the plane one of the times when I was traveling, and I had no idea it was a Harry Potter movie. And so I was completely lost.
Well, because it takes place
they're ripping the fuck off of Harry Potter.
It takes place 50 years before Harry Potter.
Yeah.
So that is
using,
it. Yeah.
The names that are close to it,
Muggles.
My big blindness to nerddom is that the Harry Potter thing. I read the book when I was a child, just the one. Didn't jive, so I was whatever. I've watched the movies a bunch of times, don't get me wrong, but I've never seen the final one, the book 7 part 2. Never seen the final movie.
It's on HBO Max, or I have the Blu-ray that you can borrow.
I know. I've sat down multiple times being you know what, this will be the time. I haven't watched all these movies in 3 years. I'm gonna watch all of them, and then I'm gonna watch the last movie finally. And
the last movie, part 2 is so much better than part 1, though.
Everyone says that. Everyone says it. And I just haven't done it. I have no idea. I have no idea if Harry Potter dies, right? He's dead. Nothing happens as far as I know. He's all dead. I know.
Actually, Harry Potter does die.
Eventually.
No, he dies in the movie.
Good. I'm glad. This is a fantastic podcast for me right now.
Yeah,
Even when I
we'll
was in
make you
China,
watch it,
I
Jason.
purposely downloaded all the movies because in China you can't connect to any like U.S. services whatsoever. So I downloaded all the movies. It was like I'm gonna watch all my stuff on VPN or on that I have downloaded. Downloaded all the movies. Still didn't get to the last movie. Still didn't get it.
I have not read any of the Harry Potter books.
Well, you
Well.
beat there. I did the first one.
They did the one.
And I
But like
I did the
chat's like,
one,
let's be
and-
real. The movies are dog shit compared to the books. I'm like, I haven't read any of the books. I like the movies. I don't care. And you know what? I prefer not reading the books now ever because of how fucking horribly mean the book people are to the movies. Same thing with God damn it. Game of Thrones. Like the book people are so mean to that show, rightfully so for the last season. But hey, guess what? The last season's here, and their last book isn't here. So
the last two books aren't here.
last two books aren't here.
last two.
But like there's just so much fucking like hatred, and I'm just like I'm good not reading.
There's no need to be that angry. Like I was a huge Crichton fan. Like at the time when Harry Potter was coming out, I was into Michael Crichton. And so I remember like when Jurassic Park finally came out, I was shitting bricks. Like I was so ready because I'd already read that book about 1 billion times. And I was just like, oh, it was not nearly what I thought it was going to be. And but I don't hate it. I don't hate on it. I'm not pissed. I'm not like, hey, you like the movie? Like who doesn't like the first Jurassic Park movie? Who doesn't like it? I think I was a big fan of the book. Book's 10 times better.
You know what the movie
But
did
it's
better
still a
than Jurassic Park
fantastic
the
movie.
book? Mr. DNA. Mr. DNA.
Mr. DNA.
Mr. DNA is not in the books, and Mr. DNA is fucking awesome. Quote me on that. But so same thing with like Wheel of Time. I read Wheel of Time. Like I've gone through all of the books. There's a lot of books. There's 15 books, all of them. Got to that first season of the Amazon adaptation. I liked it. There's differences. I liked some of the differences. Some of the differences I don't like primarily because I don't know where they're going with them in there. Like some of the things that they did with one of the characters, like having a wife early on, and he didn't in the books at all. He didn't get a wife until much, much later, and you're just like, I don't know how they're going to handle all of this. And there's certain things that they could have done better, like that same guy's relationship with not werewolves, but with the wolves and stuff. But they still did a really good job, and enough that like Shannon enjoyed watching it too. So I try not to be angry about like the changes like that, you know. So it
Roald
is what
Dahl
it is.
books, man. Roald Dahl's where it was at back in that's my childhood right there, man. James the
This is
Giant
true.
Peach, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. If you want to talk about fucking up shit, there you go.
And J.K. Rowling is kind of a transphobic piece of shit.
Oh, she's a cunt. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So there is that. If you already own them, that's fine. If you want to buy them used. Because I'm sure that you can find them used because there's a lot of people that sold their copies because they didn't like her. But you can buy them used and she doesn't get any money for that. Used bookstores, it's like a used car. Ford doesn't get the money for that. Chevy doesn't get the money for it when you do it. Just buy it used. It's fine. All right.
At your local bookstore, read a book today.
Yep. Hey, we found a like one of the old, almost in pristine copies of The Hobbit, like with the green cover and everything. It was like a 3rd edition of the book at a bookstore that we bought for, I think it was like $12, that we've just got sitting on Ronan's bookshelf so that he can read it. So you can find some gems in some of those used bookstores. So do it. All right. Someone remade the UE5 train station demo in Dreams. And you can watch the entire time lapse of him doing it, and it looks almost just as pretty.
It looks pretty.
It looks
good.
pretty. It's really good. It's worth watching. Just look up UE5 train station Dreams, and you'll see it. All right. Let's see here. Sony is going to make people pay, and we saw this coming, everyone. They're going to make people pay a premium to upgrade to their current pre-bought PlayStation Plus accounts. So if you were one of those people that bought like that huge like surplus of PlayStation Now when you could find it on sale and whatnot, yeah, you're gonna have to pay for the entirety of it. It's real weird how they're gonna do it, but that's what people are getting emails about.
I gotta say, this is a real 2010 Microsoft move right here, Sony.
Mhm.
Like, what the fuck you doing? Like, this is easily something that, like, hey, we got this new console coming out. It's called the Xbox 360, and you're gonna have to pay to upgrade all your bullshit. Like, this is dumb. This is dumb, Sony. Don't do that. Don't be dumb. Read a book today.
Yeah. I still don't even know if I'm gonna upgrade to that. Let's be honest. That whole thing, I'm just like I think I'm just gonna stick with the base tier.
Well, yeah.
Like, I haven't seen
I'm in
any
no
games
rush.
that I'm like, I need to get it for
Right,
that.
have to have it.
Again, as we talked about, you throw Vagrant Story in my face, I'm gonna fucking get it for a month so I can stream Vagrant Story, and then I'll drop back down to the
Well, I
low
mean,
tier.
for me, it'll probably be the same thing what they did with Game Pass. So just like Game Pass was
Yeah.
cool. I mean, it was just like neat. It would be deal, but then they're finally just like, you know what? Fuck it, we're gonna make it awesome for PC. I was just like, son of a bitch, I'm in. They're
Yep.
gonna do the same thing eventually with Sony, but Sony's got to figure that out on their own. And so until
Well,
they
it would
do,
have to be all,
Mhm.
and they could do it. Like, if everything is cloud-based, you can do that on the PC very simply.
Mhm.
So you just do it all 100% cloud. That's it. And they could do that. Speaking of the Top Gun movie, which we should have segued into this earlier, but we didn't because we were on already 18 million different tangents. The Flight Sim Top Gun expansion is finally available, as is Ace Combat 7. So if you have Game Pass and you want to play Flight Sim, which you probably should, if that's your jam, especially if you have Game Pass, you can do that, and you get the expansion for free. And Ace Combat 7, if you own that, if you're one of like 50 people that own that game. I don't know how many people bought Ace Combat 7, but here's the funny
They
thing.
made
I don't know
7
a
of
single
them.
person.
Someone's buying them.
I don't know a single person that actually did buy Ace Combat 7. So, so you know,
You guys
there's
see the
that.
movie?
I have not. No, I'm waiting for it to come out on
So-
streaming. Shannon went and saw it with your wife.
Yeah, so I mean, go see it in the theater. Sarah, my wife, pulled me into it this weekend, and I was just like, all right, I'll go see it. I loved the movie back in the day, but I had no desire to go really to a movie theater, right? And but it was fucking amazing. Like it's worth it. Like go see it in the theater because it's blow your face off like Top Gun style again. It's
Yes,
fun.
our
It's a lot of fun.
wives went with Lady Rose to go see
true.
the Top Gun movie because Lady Rose lives here in the great state of Arizona.
Yeah.
The best part about a movie theater in Arizona is that it's somebody else's AC.
Yes. Speaking of which, the Harkins down the street from me is being torn down finally now. They're putting in that
The
big ass
movie theater-
apartment complex.
The movie theater right here, that next to me, that used to be a bullshit place, is kick ass. That's where we went, and it's more like iPick now, where it's like they have servers come out to you and all this bullshit, and like
Well, they
the
had
seats
servers
all
before.
recline. But it was like you're in office chairs or whatever.
For
and it was
half
only
of
by
them,
the
you were in
row.
office chairs. Yeah, you had that entire
yeah, yeah.
like weird row of office
Now
chairs.
it's full on nice whatever and stuff like that, and you have like
Oh, good.
QR code, and they bring it all out to you. It's really nicely done now.
But what's
so,
the name of it?
I'm
Is
happy
it really
about
Kick Ass?
No,
Oh,
it's
that would be a
Kick-Ass
great
is-
name.
I like it.
Yeah.
Kick-Ass movie theater.
Welcome to
Yeah,
Kick-Ass
I'd
Theater.
fucking go there. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd do it. I'd
TM,
100% do it. Yeah, TM Kick-Ass movie
Kick-Ass
theaters.
theaters.
All right, let's see here. Asus has made a cyberpunk game to support their new laptops because why not?
Why not?
Why not? You know what? I think it actually kind of looks better than cyberpunk. Not gonna lie.
They're getting better.
Okay, so we were talking about that. It's like Cyberpunk as a game looked great, no matter what. Like it always looked great. The problem, and it ran well on a lot of people's PCs. Like not as many people had issues PC wise as console people had. But man, it was that whole console support, which is like all Xbox and all PlayStation. Like it was just dog shit, and it was bad. Plus, the PC had bugs and stuff like that too. But I mean, like just like any PC and like any software programs, any weird peripherals that you have installed, anything like that can wreak havoc on drivers. So yeah, it's definitely a weird one. All right.
We now own kickasstheaters.com. Just letting you know.
Sweet.
Nice.
Fuck yes. How much was it? $5?
$3, man. Yeah,
$3?
I buy them up all the time. Yeah. Well, I mean, $20 technically, but yeah, I get them all the time.
All right. Speaking of Asus has made a 500 hertz monitor because all the frames.
All the frames.
And again, so we'll reiterate this. We can explain the reason as to why, even though the average human eye only sees 60 frames per second, why you need to have more frames. The more frames you have, the less risk that you have of catching a frame when you're like catching no frame when your eye is trying to catch a frame because the sync is off on it and you're able to catch fluid video. That's one of the problems that the human eye has is while the average is 60 frames per second, not everybody's does it. And not everyone's like frame rate is at the same like synchronization. So going up to 120 frames, 144 frames, all of that helps quite a bit. And then, I mean, 500 frames is a little overkill, but at that point, they're just kind of like, look what we can do.
The more you frame.
Buy our monitor so you can still suck at Valorant.
So the more you frame, is that sponsored by Amber Heard?
Ayo.
Ayo.
Ayo. Look at us being topical. Holy shit. Is that the first like reference we made to this fucking year? I think so.
It might be.
Oh no, we talked about Top Gun.
Yeah, we did talk about Top Gun.
But that had ties. It had ties to the 80s. 86? 86
I think we talked about Top Gun like 3 times so far in this anime in this podcast.
This is a great anime. I would say that too.
It's the most amazing of animes, let me tell you something.
This anime is too kawaii for words.
Okay, so we're gonna go off on a short vampire tangent, and that is that Vampire Survivors .07 is coming soon. Has been announced. It's adding in some more stuff. Chat made sure to remind us to talk about that because, you know, an early access game getting an update, that's unheard of. But that's beside the point.
This day and age.
And, hey, fucking Phasmo has been in early access for 1.5 years now, and they're still doing regular updates. The great thing is that they're, like, drastically overhauling stuff now. So it's going to be a little bit before they get like a full release of the game. But now they're just like bringing it up and making it better. Like they're going to redo the entire asylum, which is awesome. They're redoing the look and feel of the entire van, all sorts of stuff. But moving on to additional vampire news, V Rising devs had no idea that their game was going to be as big as it launched as. Even though when they announced it, we all fucking collectively shit like 80 million bricks because it was Vampire Valheim. But they have not dropped below 65,000 concurrent players on Steam since launch.
Good for them, man.
Which is big. They peaked at like 182, I think is what I read. But I pulled up their stats and they have not dropped below 65,000 the entire time, which is awesome. And it's a great game. Chris and I will be talking about it probably quite a bit.
Yep.
Coming up soon. But yeah, V Rising. Play it. All right. Last but not least, we're going to end off on the Sony State of Play, which is basically Sony's E3. Like, this was done. This is the first not E3 presser now to come out. And I'm going to tell you, if this is what we have to look forward to for the not E3 this year, I'm probably going to slip my wrist next week. Just saying. Because if I have to watch horribly disappointing information delivered to me by Jeff Keighley the entire fucking time, I might kill myself. I just might. Like, this might actually happen. because
Spoilers.
fuck Jeff Keighley. Spoiler alert, that's gonna kill himself.
You
'Cause of
gunsta.
Jeff Keighley.
You're gonna die, clown.
God, I fucking
What
hate
is-
Jeff Keighley so much.
What is Suicide Night? Fuck Jeff Keighley.
While we joke about it, suicide is a bad thing. Don't commit suicide, folks. That's the easy way
Don't
out.
do it.
If you think about suicide, call it suicide prevention. However, I might be calling a suicide prevention hotline next week to get them to try and talk me out of it. And I'll tell them that I watched 3 straight days of Jeff Keighley talking about subpar video games, and they'll say, "Yeah, you should probably kill yourself." That might actually happen.
No, they're gonna say,
You know
here's
what?
more
I might want to as well.
Oh God. Okay. All right. So the state of play. Final Fantasy 16 has finally gotten a release window, and it's summer of 2023.
Yay.
And it's supposed to be a more mature Final Fantasy, as we've talked about. It's like the summons look really cool. The way that you interact as the summons looks like it's going to be very interesting, to where like they do some real fucking damage to the world around them and cause like your choices can wreak havoc on your forces and all that. So I really want to see some additional stuff to go with this.
Yeah.
And the fighting
super
style
heavy
is very
10
action.
vibes.
Super heavy what?
13. It gave off super heavy 13 vibes, in my opinion.
Maybe, but I want to see how they like affect the armies and stuff like that. That's what I'm talking about. Like I want to know like what your choices of moves and whatnot, because I'm pretty certain that it's like a rock paper scissors type thing. And I want to see like what like you doing well or poorly in these battles, how that affects like the enemies around, or the forces around you. Because every time that I've seen them so far, there's giant fucking armies there. But it is very much an action RPG, much like Final Fantasy 15 was, which I liked the combat in 15. It had some growing pains with it, but it worked well enough as is. But we also haven't seen the main character fighting in groups, so we don't know if it's team dynamic, gambit system type setup for it or anything like that. So we'll have to wait and see.
They also promised us full storyline front to back, which is a real weird thing to say when you're talking about an RPG, but you know, their last iteration did not have full storyline.
It did.
It had a beginning and an end, but all the DLC was, the whole middle of the game was locked behind DLC. They had to then have piecemealed out to you
for parts, yeah, for good parts of it, and they completely scrapped entire sections of the game too. Like again, we've talked about it before, is like the train section was supposed to be so much longer than it was, and they had to scrap all of it because the game got too big and it was taking too long to develop, and that was too much additional things. So that train section just got shut down to a linear thing of where you get off on the train, you get back on the train, you go, you get off, you do another thing, you get back on, go. That train section was supposed to be so much better. We were talking like almost a 2-hour or 200-hour game, like to completionist, which would have been awesome. I loved it, but I mean, they had already taken so long to do it, and Coleman stopped shelling out that money for the camping supplies, and they weren't getting any additional Nissan Cup Noodle
and Cup
money.
Noodle. Yeah.
They were just like done. They're like, no, we're not giving you any more money. Just give us the fucking game. We've been sitting on this forever. And you know what? Coleman still didn't capitalize on giving me my Final Fantasy 15 dedicated and official tent. I'd have bought one. Just saying. I'd have bought one. I'd have had it sitting downstairs. I would have been prepped and ready to go when I had that kid come out and then be like, let's go camping. Boom. Final Fantasy 15 tent. And grill. And cooler. And tables.
And light.
And light. Yeah. Like I would have had all
Come with a new recipe.
Yeah. I would have had all of it. Ronan played that game, and he's like, why does the guy get so excited about recipes? I'm like, dude, let him get excited about his recipes, man. It's great. I have a new recipe.
You're gonna be cooking. You're gonna be cooking here soon. You're gonna get excited about that. I have a new recipe.
I have a new recipe. He watches me cook all the fucking time, and basically he just looks over and he's like, Yeah, I'm not engaging with Dad. Because every time he does, I'm like, hey, you want to come over and watch me cook? No. You want to cut some stuff? I'll give you a knife. He needs a knife. No. Damn it. I'm gonna start making him watch Good Eats again every night. I'm gonna force it now. And now it may actually become the punishment that we originally thought that it was going to be for him. I'm gonna make him watch it every night so that then I drill in a passion for cooking into this kid. I can drill it in.
That's how you make sure that he's not going to do it.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, God damn it. Just love cooking the way that I love cooking. Daddy quit the career in cooking because it killed the love for it.
Never let him cook. Be like, hey, don't look at this. Don't look at what I'm doing. This is only for people that are not into this. Like, don't do it. Then he'll be my chef.
Oh man,
that goes
against every fiber of my being to explain what it is that I am doing when people ask me questions. I'm like, oh, you want to know? Hang on, let me tell you everything. That's just one of my weird quirks. I'm like, oh, you want to know? Here's soup to nuts. How to smoke a brisket.
No way, Eric. I've never noticed that about you.
Never, ever
explain anything. Get
Jason,
out of town.
how much of me explaining how to make a brisket do you remember?
0. Is there a smoker? Yeah. Good. How much do I have to put it in there for? I don't know. Meat go there. Fire here. Good. Did you brine it? Did you put anything on it? Is there mustard involved? Yeah, it's in there. Is it on the meat?
It might be in the meat.
It just might be on there. Like it's just like the bottle resting on top of the meat, not even open. Like it's just like, there you go. When it's done, it explodes, and that's how I know that it'll be delicious.
Oh, Lady Rose remembers me explaining the different ways that I make coffee. And the reasons as to why you do it that one. I love food. I'm a fat kid.
No,
that's
yeah.
I love food. I was a chef. It's like one of my things, and I love learning about it. And actually, I was saying something in a chat the other day that kind of blew someone's mind because there was like people were just like arguing about something, and I was like, I love being proved right. Or proved wrong. I love being proved wrong because then that means that I learned something for the day. So if somebody proves me wrong, I'm like, I learned my new thing for the day. That's it. And they're like, that's just weird. And I'm like, I like learning new things. Wrinkle. What? You get a wrinkle? Yeah, you get all the wrinkles in your head. Like I love getting new wrinkles on my brain. I love learning new things. And that's like,
don't get one right here. That's your third eye. And that's Mona Lisa territory. You don't want to get into that.
No, that's the vein that pops out when when someone tries to make me watch something with fucking spiders in it. And I'm like, no, I don't want to. Fuck spiders.
Spider-Man.
But no, I love learning new things. Like that's my thing. It's like I look at my wife, I'm like, don't you just sometimes want to like learn something just to learn it? She's like, no, that's why I have you. I'm like, it's a very solid point.
And to be fair, Eric, I was busting your balls about the brisket thing because I've been listening to you explain things for 20 years.
2 years? Well, 20 years for in general, yes. The brisket, 2 years though.
No. I meant in general. I've been listening to you explain random bullshit to me for 20 years. I've just been like, sure, Eric.
It's actually more than 20 years now, Jason.
Is it really? Holy
it's fuck. More than 20 years. Yes.
Oh my God! Is it like 22?
Yeah, it was 2000. It was like 2001 to 2002 when we first met. Yeah.
Holy shit! Holy shit!
We're old. Anyways, going back to Sony's State of Play.
Video game podcast.
There is a RE4 remake in the works with PSVR 2 support, as well as RE8 VR. Stray, which is a cool cyberpunk like cat game, like stray cat game that we all went apeshit for last summer, is finally coming out.
3 years ago when it was.
No, it was last summer.
No, it was announced like years ago. I promise you, we were there. we were there when they announced Stray the first time, because I remember us both being like, "Holy shit, that looks amazing!" It was like at ID.
Oh dear God, they started development in 2015.
Told you, yeah, we were there
shit.
when they first announced it, and I remember leaning to you and being like, "I'm gonna."
No, the game was.
That.
Oh yeah, we were. No, it was the first. It wasn't announced until June 11th, 2020. So it was the first non E3 from COVID.
It was
at the Future Gaming event.
It was there before. I've seen it before. We were at E3 and I've seen it. I know for a fact.
Unless we saw it from the devs, like somewhere on the floor.
Yeah, probably. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but the game wasn't announced at PlayStation's Future Gaming event until June 11th, 2020, which was the first.
Because it wasn't a PlayStation game. It wasn't a PlayStation game to begin with. Like it wasn't always going to be a PlayStation game. So it's coming out. We saw it from somewhere.
Yeah, it's coming out Windows, PS4, and PS5. Gonna get it on PS5 because might as well.
Yeah.
It definitely makes for easier streaming. I don't have to worry about anything at that point. Run it at fucking max. It don't matter. But yeah, so that'll be coming out July 17th. There's a new game that looks like it's like a Dead Space clone. And I literally called it like immediately. Like, this looks like Dead Space. Called Callisto Protocol, which I wouldn't be surprised if it didn't end up being like a Dead Space sequel or something like that. No Man's Sky.
That'd be amazing.
It would be amazing. No Man's Sky is getting VR support sometime in the near future as well. Spider-Man Remastered is finally coming to PC. So all of you PC gamers can play Spider-Man finally. And Street Fighter 6 gameplay was shown off. And thank God they're not going for hyperrealism. So that is a plus.
Street Fighter does not need that. Street Fighter does not need that.
They kind of went on that a little bit. They started moving into that realm, and then they finally, like, especially with 5, they were like, no, we're gonna make it like that super edging, like shading and stuff like that, so that it looks like it's hand drawn. And I think that they like heard people complain about it, and they were just like, let's just add shading now onto all the character models, and that's all that they needed to do, to be honest. Because Ryu looks different than he looked a couple of months ago, so I think that they did again another Sonic movie thing where they brought it out and then like, whoa, we probably need to step this back. Let's change the character models. But the nice thing is, since it's not rendering an entire movie, they can just change the character models pretty easily on there, and then it'll go through that. I really need to replay No Man's Sky again. I think we say this like every month on the podcast. I'm like, man, I really should reinstall No Man's Sky and play it, because I have my PS5 and I've still got it. I bought it digitally. Like, I might as well just fucking do it. But
I still have my physical copy of the game because I was just like, never again.
Oh wait, no, I bought a physical copy. I do have a physical copy, and I didn't sell it back to GameStop because they were only going to give like $2 for it. So I was like, fuck that, I'll keep it. Okay. Might as well. It's worth $2 to keep. Let's put it that
just
way.
Like Anthem, right, guys? Just like Anthem. You're welcome.
Just like Anthem.
Merry Christmas.
No,
Merry
Anthem wasn't worth the $5 that you spent on it. They'll give you 60 cents.
It was worth their $5 total I spent for 3 copies to see your face as I gave it to you. New fresh copies.
The nice thing is that I buy Jason a nice Christmas present, and at least when I do that, I can then front load it of like, well, okay, now I got you a shit Christmas present, but a really nice birthday present. Because his birthday's like a week later. Yeah, you've gotten plenty of good stuff on birthdays. Hey, you got me a Stream Deck for my birthday, so you know
that's right. And your controller. Your controller is there.
The controller was Christmas.
Well, whatever.
Yeah,
what other things?
But the controller is Christmas, and I'm glad though that I have now figured out that it's not the controller, and it's not my computer. Turnip Boy commits tax evasion just will not see any of my controllers at all. They will work with tons of other games. As soon as I boot up Turnip Boy commits tax evasion, nothing. I can't play it at all. Yeah, fuck GameStop in general. I was gonna say something else that had to do with things, and I can't remember what it is. So
GME to the moon.
Oh,
How
no.
about that?
No, I know what I was gonna do. It had absolutely nothing to do with things except for other things. Before we move on to games that we are playing, we want to make sure that we let everybody out there know, both podcast and on Twitch, that we now have a Throne account. And our Throne, though, is different than anybody else's Throne. So everybody out there is a Throne for giving gifts to streamers, and we're totally not saying anything bad about that. I myself have bought Thrones for my streamer friends, like Throne gifts, because it's fun. It's a really nice thing to do. However, our Throne, 100% of the items that you purchase, if you go to thronegifts.com/you for some reason /IBaitItFirstCharity, IBaitItFirst-Charity, 100% of our gifts that are on there go directly to Phoenix Children's Hospital. We've worked a deal out with Throne and with PCH to get them set up to go ancillary to our Extra Life campaign. So if you go on to that, all those items will be shipped directly to Throne, or directly to Phoenix Children's Hospital, and Throne is only taking out raw operations costs for fees on the items. And a lot of the items that we have are actually with zero fees. So anything that you see where there is a fee tacked onto it, it is the bare minimum of fees. There's actually no profit for them. They're taking out the bare minimum of operating costs for it. But we've got tons of stuff on there. It might look a little weird because you go on and there's gift cards in there, and that's because they actually requested gift cards for the teenage kids that go into PCH that feel a little left out, because there's always, like, toys that get donated are always like plushies and stuff like that that are meant for little kids. I mean, plushies can be for older people. I mean, I've got fucking plushies here all over the place, but they feel a little left out. So they the teenagers always request gift cards. So we've got gift cards for everything. There's food, going to the movies, buying video games on the PlayStation Store, the Xbox Store, on Steam. Like, all that stuff is all on there. And like I said, 100% of it goes to Phoenix Children's Hospital so that they can give their kids their money, in which case they give them Monopoly money, to go into the store and buy stuff when they're there for treatments, which is an amazing thing. If you haven't done anything with Phoenix Children's Hospital, you 100% should with them or any children's hospital that's out there, because they're all part of the Children's Miracle Network. And if you don't want to buy on Throne and you want to donate, you can donate directly to our Extra Life campaign as well. We do all of these directly through our Twitch stream, which is twitch.tv/IBaitItFirst, and all of that information is directly there. It gets lambasted in chat throughout the hours that we stream, but we want to make sure that we get as much money and items for the hospital as possible.
One of my favorite things on there is a plushie boba tea.
Yes, there is.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And you can buy it, Jason. Just go and buy it, and it goes directly to Phoenix Children's Hospital.
That makes me feel better.
Yeah, there's still some additional integration, because Phoenix Children's Hospital does have a charity Amazon Prime wish list, and they have to get the ability to import that wish list directly into the Throne setup for it, because the standard wish list and charity lists are separate URL sets, so they have to figure out a way to get that going. But make sure that you go if you have any discretionary funds whatsoever and you want to donate. I mean, not everybody has discretionary funds, but if you do and you want to donate, you can't do anything better than going directly to them. All right, we're gonna move on to VIDEMO Games. I think I'll start first, maybe, and then Chris and I will be together.
Okay.
And then we'll go to Jason, because Chris and I have a game that we will be talking about quite a bit.
Yes.
Good night, Rogue. Thanks for hopping in. So I did play more Vampire the Masquerade Swansong on stream. It's still great. The story is still top notch. It's a great story. I mean, if you haven't picked it up, pick it up. It's really fucking great. I did, god damn it, I played something else too, and I'm trying to remember what it was. I played one other game, and I'm spacing it now. But either way, beyond that, played more V Rising. So, as we talked about earlier, where V Rising hasn't dropped below 66,000 concurrent players, Chris and I are both part of that number.
Yes.
And have been playing it since launch. I played it in both rounds of the beta, which was a little grueling, to say the least, because it was going through the build woes. But as I got into the main part of the game, it was actually really cool to mentally look back and be like, oh yeah, they changed this and this and this, and they've done a lot of quality of life things with the game. We now have our own dedicated server that we got set up because total transparency, they gave a 25% discount for their content creator setup for it. So we were like, I'll fucking take 25% off, sure. It got down to 15 seats for 3 months for $35, which is a damn good deal to be able to all of us play dedicated private server. We don't have to worry about other people. We can lock it down. We can do whatever we want. We don't have to worry about someone keeping their computer up all the time. And I mean, I joked about it. I'm like, well, I mean, my computer's up 24/7. I wouldn't have a problem leaving that running. But at least at this point, we have a dedicated server in a server farm that is running the game. Tons of fun though. Chris, you've played God, how many hours have you played of this game?
I think I'm just under 52.
You're at 30.
51.8 hours.
According to Steam, you're at 30.4 hours.
According to my Steam, I'm at 51.8.
Hang on, I'm gonna make Steam hard refresh. I'm gonna make Steam hard refresh. Steam is telling me that you have only played 30.4 hours. Oh wait, recently. So I think that's within the last 2 weeks. So there's an additional amount of time.
Last 2 weeks is 49.
I don't know. Steam, are you lying, Chris? Why you gotta lie, man? Why you gotta lie about stats?
Steam's not up to date for people looking at your own profile, man. That's how you can play Honey Pop and nobody knows.
I don't know. No, everyone knows how much time I've played on Honey Pop. I've even broadcast it on this that I have played Honey Pop a lot of time. Probably more time than I should have. Let's be honest here, people. But we've got a good little community going. We've got tons of our friends that have just joined in on the server, and it's great because we're doing a PvE for the time being, just kind of having fun, and we're sharing resources. Why am I okay, yes, I am a perv because I played Honey Pop. That's true. To completion. I actually 100%ed the game.
Oh, you definitely played it to completion, Eric. You definitely finished.
I fucked everybody.
Completion.
I fucked everybody. I'm not gonna deny it. It's 100% true. I fucked everybody. But it's fucking great game. We're sharing resources, going through, doing a lot of stuff, sharing tips and tricks as well. Just hopping in VC and like certain things of trying to now I think we're all max we're almost all max weaponry and max armor, and now we have the real test of getting all max servants in our castles, which is that's the harder part, because because Gunner made his. So Gunner comes in a couple days after we started it, and he's like, "I'm gonna make a castle. I made this. I went into the snowy mountains and made a castle." We're like, "Cool." So he makes this castle, except that it is being the area that his castle in is constantly patrolled by the fucking giant yeti of their mountains, which is it's just slightly worse than the fact that my main castle that I have with Bulldog and Dreams is right outside the standard walking zone of the fucking Chaos Pig, the Chaos Archer, and the Alpha Wolf. And they all meet up literally across a bridge from our mountain. or from our castle. We're now moving on to second castles, which we have a giant sprawling castle that is 6 buildings large. right now that sprawls over a giant plane, but it's fun. Like especially the co-op gameplay wise, it's fun. I don't know about you, Chris, but I've been having tons of fun playing this.
Yes, I really enjoy it. I mean, I have like over 50 hours in it, so
Wait. This number keeps changing. 30 hours, 48 hours, over 50 hours.
Well,
Which one is it,
mine's
Chris?
mine shows 51.8 hours total. Last 2 weeks, 49.
Okay.
For my site, it shows them at 52 hours.
Why does it only show 30 for me? It's so weird.
No idea.
No idea.
Like, here, look, I'll even screenshot it and I'll share it in our Slack, just so that you guys know that I'm not making this up. It says that Biddy, well, and like even going off of the numbers that you're saying, Biddy has played more hours than you, but Biddy's also been doing like 12-hour streams of this goddamn game. You've played more than Dreams has. I'll tell you that. According to this, Dreams has only played 20 and a half hours. And Bulldog's only played 13.8, but Bulldog's got his hand issues that he's got going.
Yeah.
But yeah. It's a super fun game. There's a lot going on. There's a shit ton of bosses. Like, how many bosses were there in Valheim? Like 7? 6?
I think like 6 or something. There's 30 in this thing.
Something like that. And then there's more. Like, we were just talking about it last night when we were going through. There is already an area of map that you can see that has like lines going through it, and there's a invisible barrier that you can't fly through when you're in bat form. Like, you get to a point and there's like a broken bridge, and like you go and you hit a wall. And then like I tried like going around it, and you can't go around it or anything like that. So you can't get to this area. So that's already expansion that's preset. There is an area at the center of the map that is like a plateau. No, there's a plateau.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's got like mist and stuff
flyover
like
is
that.
just like
but you can't land.
black with like boulders, and you can't.
Yeah,
land.
you can't land or anything like that
boulders.
for it. So that's set for expansion too. There's a whole chunk of the map that is just missing. There's nothing there up in the northwest portion. So they've planned and pre-planned a lot of expansion on this game, which I think is going to be really, really good. Like, I'm excited for them to continue on the expansion for it. And they didn't even really put out like a season pass. They just gave you 3 tiers of the game that you can buy. There's the game with the DLC, which is the Dracula's armaments or whatever. And then there is the Founders Edition, which is just, hey, you like us as a company and you want to pay more for a couple of extra skins just because you love us. That's literally what it is. And you know what? I'm fine with that, because they're not being like, yeah, season pass, get the first 3 DLCs included, like shit like that. Like, they could still go the route of Valheim, where they're going to do expansion and everything like that for it. But fantastic game. I've played way more than I probably should of this game, but it is hands down amazing. Like, I can't talk about this game enough. Like, I keep telling people, I'm like, you should really play this game. It's fucking awesome. Jason, you should really play this game.
Yep.
It's fucking
Join
awesome.
us.
All right.
We might have to buy
Join
it.
us.
We might have to buy it for Jason.
Join us.
Join us. Or we'll check CD keys for you, Jason. We'll get you a discount. How's that? Yes, V Rising. Dream says that hers says 31.2 hours, and mine says 20.5. So yeah, I don't know what's up with Steam. Steam's stupid.
Yeah.
Steam's big dumb. I don't know what's up with that. But anywho, that's it. I haven't had a chance to start playing the new Genshin, because 2.7 finally dropped this week, and I've been playing V Rising all the time. And the next season 17 of Destiny dropped. That's what I played. It's like, I know I played something else too. So we did a bunch of season 17, which there's weekly gates on story. So we're kind of like waiting things out, and then we'll do like a big chunk of that. But other than that, Chris, what else you played?
I did play some co-op in Achilles Legends Untold with the Bulldog. We only did co-op for about 15 or so minutes because it's still in that part, still in beta for a game that's in early access, and it's very much in beta.
Like it's super janky still.
Yeah, and so like as you kill people, like the souls split in two, so they go to both of you. Well, mine wasn't even counting at anything.
Oh shit! Alrighty then.
Definitely seems like some of the enemies are a little bit janky. And the co-op it's like a whole separate kind of thing where I think you just kind of go as far as you can, beating bosses, going down levels, and just trying to beat them with it. But we didn't play for too long because we're like, yeah, this still needs some work. We'll play some Phasmo. Someone else will play some Phasmo.
I did play
but yeah,
Phasmo. That's true. Yeah.
Yeah. So just more Phasmo, a lot of V-Rising. That's about it.
Which Phasmo, I can't
Wow.
wait. I can't wait for the rebuilds. Like I said, when they redo the asylum,
Yeah.
they redo the way that the truck works on the inside, and then they've been doing like I didn't even realize like it had been a little bit since I played it that they've moved doors around and stuff like that in already existing levels as well too. So they've reworked a lot of stuff throughout that. So it's interesting to play. All right, Jason, what about you?
All right, I've been playing a few games here. First and foremost, I'll start with a real quick review copy of a game that we received called Biomotor Unitron. This is a Switch copy of the game, which is a direct port of a Neo Geo Pocket Color game.
That's right.
Made.
That's right.
Made back in oh god,
It was 99 or
I'm
98,
blanking.
wasn't it?
I was gonna say 98, but yeah, I think you're probably right with 99 because the color. But made back in 1999, combating Neo Geo Pocket, combating the Game Boy Advance and stuff like that, and head color, and it was all the good stuff like that. Came in tons of different skins and colors that you could get. Like it was like supposed to blow the Game Boy out of the water, and obviously,
And it should have. It did graphically. The Neo Geo has always graphically destroyed
the Jaguar, the Pocket, everything that Neo Geo has done is really great.
The Jaguar was Atari, not Neo Geo.
Atari, you're right.
But the Neo Geo as a whole, like that console, the great thing about the Neo Geo that we've talked about was that it was an arcade cabinet at home connected to your television.
Arcade cabinet. That's its whole thing, because that's their big thing. Like if it's just like Neo Geo, I've never heard of that. It's just like if you ever played any arcade game, you've played on a Neo Geo. Like
they had the Neo Geo Select thing, where you could go in and choose like one of 5 things, and they just had a motherboard with different PCI. Actually, I think there were ISA cards at that point.
They were doing a MAME emulation.
Yeah,
MAME emulation is all Neo Geo basically. So I mean they're massive. So they tried to get into the handheld, didn't really break out too well in the US. And for some reason, we got a review copy for this Biomutant game or Biomotor.
It was from Homar. It was from Homar, Home Run PR. So
yep,
like it's our standard guys. Awesome. Sometimes we look like they send us a lot of stuff. I will turn down tennis, like any day of the week. I will turn down World Rally, like Nintendo Switch, like World Rally Championship Nintendo Switch Edition again, because that last one was a dog shit. But there are certain times where they send it to us. I'm like, you know what? Not so much that we're throwing them a bone, but we'll take that. Sure. Why not?
We're one of the only people that actually talk about this. Like, I don't think there's any. If you ever want an exclusive podcast about a very niche game made for the Neo Geo Pocket from back in 1990, 2000, guess what? You found your podcast, ladies and gentlemen, because we're about to talk about this game. And basically what it is that aliens crash into the planet, have all kinds of problems, and to win the war, they make mechs, basically remote control mechs that'll fight and win the war. Then the game starts. It was just like, oh, this sounds like a dope ass game. Like, it sounds awesome. We're fighting mechs in an alien battle. And they're like, nah, that all happened in the past. 300 years later, now people just use the mechs in like battle arenas and like trying to do whatever. It's just like, so it's like that Punch Out movie that what's his name did.
Oh, Real Steel.
Real Steel, yeah. And it's like real steel, basically, is what we're doing here. And the entire game set up just like Pokemon, the original Pokemon game, where it's just like, hey, fight. What are your different attacks? You can equip all your jazz.
It's robot cockfighting.
Put on. It basically is. You have all of your different things. There's light RPG elements where you have to go to town, go to the shop, talk to everybody. You get like different little quests. And then you have the fantastic old school Dragon Warrior above top-down view of exploring dungeons or forests and stuff like that, and then random battles of whatever you fight, including living stumps, a dandelion, a lizard eating itself like an Ouroboros, but backwards, and then also like a giant bee, but only the giant part is the head. Weird stuff that you're fighting all over the place. The core of it is to then fight in the arenas against other biomotors and to become the best biomotor user on the planet. I was kind of expecting there to be like a little bit of an upgrade or something that they did here. This entire game, which I don't believe should be its own game, is maybe 2 megabytes. But the entire game itself that came on the Switch is like 40, and most of that's just to have all the different skins of the Neo Geo Pocket. That's right. The game's not on your screen. You're looking at a giant ass Neo Geo Pocket, and then the actual Neo Geo Pocket screen is where the game's going to be. So you can change the different skins of your Neo Geo, zoom in a bunch, or take away the skin so it'd just be a square on your screen, which felt weirder for some reason. It's the kind of stuff that you'd see normally in like the Namco Museum or any other museums type thing, where it's just like, hey, we have a collection of all these different old games for you to play and enjoy. Like even Super Mario All-Stars back on the Super Nintendo did this pretty well. It's just like, hey, you can play these older games. They'll look a little bit wonky, but we'll make it fit on your screen using old technology. Why this had to be its own subset of the game, I'm very confused by, because obviously the nostalgia is not there for me. So number one, I didn't have a Neo Geo. Number two, I didn't even know this game existed until this came across my desk. So a lot of the nostalgia wasn't there for me. The pacing was really rough for a game, but this is an older game. I'm not going to really get into that, and I'll let that pass. I just really am kind of more surprised that there's a single game for this. So now I have this whole game on my Switch ready to go, and it's like less than the OS for the Switch to run in itself.
It's like, less than any update for the OS. I think it's less than the update for the Switch to run XC capacity SD cards.
1000%. It's teeny tiny. It's nothing, and it still took forever to download from the Switch store. Weird.
I mean, everything takes forever to download from the Switch store. It's so
throwing shade.
Well, not to mention that the Switch Wi-Fi is still abysmally shit.
Oh yeah,
and there's nothing you can do about it because they use subpar components.
Even on the OLED, the Wi-Fi is pretty bad. So.
Because you have to use the same chipset. If they don't use the same chipset, then they have to like change some of the coding for things, and things might not work, which is part of the problem with changing out things. It's like only the NVIDIA chipset for the newer like chipset that they were running for that like processor and everything like that works because it was 100% backwards compatible. But once you add in different things, you fuck everything up.
It's all
gone. Sony found that out.
Yep.
Now they're gonna regress. They got to find out about their online system. Anyway, I digress.
Yeah. Oh god, Biomotor, so
Biomotor Unitron, available on the Switch. If you had a Neo Geo Pocket and you're just like, fuck, I really remember this old robot game that was basically Pokemon, but it's not Pokemon. Had all the like grinding and aspects of Pokemon fighting, but none of the fun of collecting or doing anything neat. Yes, absolutely. Here it is, ready for you to consume and have fun with. I don't have the nostalgia there for me, so I'm not going to speak too much to that. If you really just want to see a Neo Geo on your Switch or on your TV, here's the way to do it, I guess, for now. I'm just going to give it a 5.5 out of 10 just because it's just not there for any reason why this should exist by itself, in my opinion. Like, it's just like there's one person who's probably going to be like, fuck yeah, and they're probably in Japan. So I'm not really concerned
not
about
one person. So one, if you want to bring in Japan, like the Neo Geo was actually pretty big in Japan, but the problem is
huge in Japan. Yes,
it didn't sell anywhere outside of arcades or like Japan itself. And arcades were dying in the U.S., so there wasn't any way for them to actually get like a huge foothold in the U.S. And the old Neo Geo was fucking expensive. And I mean,
because you're basically buying an arcade cabinet.
Yeah.
This is a Neo Geo Pocket. Has nothing to do. This is not an arcade.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, like, I'm just saying when we talk about the Neo Geo, like, it was a $600 console with $150 games because you were buying a fucking board to go into it. So they had a problem. Yep. They had problems out the gate there. And that particular model then just hindered them moving forward with everything else too. The Pocket Color was really cool, but it also suffered then with battery life issues and stuff like that. The same way that the not the Genesis. What was the Sega one? Sega
CD, Sega Saturn.
Sega, was it just the Sega Pocket? No.
Game Gear.
Game Gear, yeah, the Game Gear. Like, Game Gear was the first one to come out in all color. And it was bright and it was vibrant. The problem is you had like an hour's worth of gameplay on 6 AA batteries.
Through those AA
so badly, and you couldn't use rechargeables with them because old NiCads were not good for that.
No.
Yeah, so you couldn't use old battery, like rechargeable batteries or anything like that for it. So they ran into the same issue with that with the Pocket Color, just batteries. Battery tech wasn't there for a color screen, and Nintendo, as it always does a really good job of skating that tech line of being just enough forward that you'll shell out money, but not being so far forward that they're hindered by things. And that they take a risk. And they stopped taking risks after the GameCube is what I would say, that they stopped taking risks. Because they didn't even take risks for the N64. They had the chance to go to the CD route, utilizing multiple different avenues, and they talked with like 3 different companies for doing a CD based setup, and then they went the safe route, and then they finally went CDs and they made their own proprietary like mini CD set, and then
Dolphin.
And then for some reason continued making their own proprietary discs. Like, we've talked about the proprietary discs that the Wii and the Wii U had, that, like, you know, if they got cold, they couldn't read because they the surface contracted down too much for the lasers to actually be able to read them, which was funny as hell. And then finally, you went to the Switch cartridges that tasted like vomit.
Delicious vomit. Anyway, it's fine. It's like I said, if you have nostalgia for it, it'll be there for you. I'm, like I said, just surprised that it's needed to exist in its own format. This should have been on a Neo Geo Pocket Museum, and it's just like, here's like 13 games, Neo Geo Pocket Color for you to have fun with, and you can play them all. I think it would have had a little bit more exposure.
And it might be that they generated that whole Neo Geo Pocket thing, and then they released this, which it might have been like one of the more popular Japanese titles for the Neo Geo Pocket. And then now they're like, oh yeah, now we've got the set and we can build out like a whole thing.
You're probably right. I mean, it's just a safe gamble for sure. But yeah, anyway, there you go. I've been playing a crap ton of Jurassic World Evolution. I talked about this before, not the new one that just came out, the old one, the first one, just for shits and giggles. And I'm really enjoying it. It's stupid. It scratches a niche of city planning type games that I didn't know I had. I'm not normally a huge dinosaur person in general, but for whatever reason, looking at these dumb big things coming out of like the incubation center, I'm just like, oh, it's cool and whatever. And
I made a dino.
I'm still such a wuss. I'm still such a wuss. It's just like, make them fight, and I'm just like, no, I don't want to make them fight.
No, don't be Pokemon. Zoo. No, don't be Pokemon. Dude,
there's so many
Do not legalize dinosaur cockfighting.
Make these things fight.
No,
I don't want to. And what's cool is that oh god, Jeff Goldblum, I believe, is voicing his role.
He voiced
in this
it.
thing.
Yeah.
And he does a great job. Like,
it's
so many
Jeff
times
Goldblum.
that he's talking. It's Jeff Goldblum. Yeah. He's gold, man.
Malcolm, like Ian Malcolm was Jeff Goldblum. Like, he didn't have to actually do anything. He was Jeff Goldblum. And he's just like, yeah, this is me.
Well, you know what?
Life
there it is.
Finds a way.
Lastly, I finally beat Tales of Arise, and by beat I mean 100% platinum. Did everything you possibly fucking could. Like, I took it to the nth degree, because once you get to that last slog, like that last like 8 hours of that game was
nobody
just
can
like,
hear me doing this.
They really can. And it makes it even more appropriate because it seriously deserves that much applause. It's a slog. That last bit is a slog, and I stayed up till like 3 a.m. on Friday to just have it done. I was just like, I'm just gonna get this thing done and finish it out.
I am so glad I didn't call you on Friday. I was heading back from Topgolf at like 9:30, and I was like, I could call Jason, or I could go home. And I was like,
come on over.
I'm gonna just go home. I'm on my new beds. I'm actually drinking probably more tonight than I probably should have. I'm gonna have to stay up a little bit to deal with that, but yeah.
But yeah, so beat the shit out of it, did it all. Yeah, no one calls me. No one wants to talk to me. No one hangs out with me. I'm the person that's beating Tales of Arise. I'm the one that's beating this game to 100%. Who does that? Masochists do. That's who. So did everything possibly could to this game, and I enjoyed it. Was it the best JRPG I've ever played in my life? No, I don't think it's quite there. It gets to the point where you've played so long that the characters in the game will say their moves and their incantations. And so you have 4 people running around at any given time, screaming out whatever they're doing. Battles become chaotic very quickly, whereas just nothing but background music that you can barely hear and them yelling constantly, like Dragon Double Frame, Lightning Blast, all the random anime names that you could have for attacks, just randomly shouting. And I'm not saying like one after another, constantly on top of each other, because you're pulling off moves all over the place and telling your people to do extra moves constantly. So it's just like blah, 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 all the time. They recognize that because later on, when you get to like high levels, you can start upgrading the cast time. Because one of the things for being a magic user is you have to say the full incantation. It's just like, I would like to call upon the winds of whatever to do sonic winds, and then she does the sonic winds thing, and so you have to do that. And if you're controlling her, there's a little countdown showing you how long you have until that thing goes off, because you don't want to get hit. If you get hit, then you have to start all over again. Very, it makes sense. So as you level up your characters, you can make it so that they're more resilient if they get hit, and all stuff like that. But one of my favorite ones is you can shorten down the cast time, where instead of like it having to be the whole casting of whatever it is, well, to compensate for that, they did it in the most amazing way. So in these later on battles where you're just constantly throwing all kinds of magic at everything that you possibly can do, and hitting everything, you just hear a cacophony of people talking. You'll sometimes hear your little mage go, blah, 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 magic. Literally, that's what she says.
She literally says blah, 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 magic.
Blah, blah, magic.
Yes. One like verbatim.
That's perfect.
Blah 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 magic, and then boom, whatever it is, because she's now OP and she doesn't have to say the whole incantation. They retconned this 100%. They talked about how like she has to constantly practice her incantations to make herself faster and stuff like that. So now here you are, level 100, OP as fuck, blah blah blah, fuck it up, and just going out doing whatever.
Murder.
So I mean, they knew what they were doing. They didn't take themselves too seriously. The anime-ness of the anime-ness, the tropes are all there. The tsundere couple is tsundere, and it's just enough to keep you going. If you got there, 50-hour game, about 70 hours, I'd say maybe 65 to really do everything, as long as you're not like just doing things one by one. It was an enjoyable experience. I enjoyed a lot of it. I would say it's 8 out of 10, just because that last little bit was just such a slog, and there's so much talking. They talk about everything. I mean, they have so many different interruptions that you have to go through and talk to, and you'll be running around and it'll just be like, oh, here's a skit, and it'll be like, we talked about this last time, you hit a button, you can watch the skit, and then right after that there's another one,
and then you accidentally hit that button when you go to run or something like that, and you're like, the run button, you're like, yep. And they just talk about whatever, like colors of flowers and, food being great. And that's fine. The first 2 times that they want to make a joke about someone being a glutton, that was hilarious. But now I've watched 15 skits about them being like really liking food. Fucking get it. Like, it's just like, no, we didn't need to hear this again. Oh, guess what? This is a competition about making pancakes. Guess who fucking likes pancakes? I know who likes pancakes already. I've been playing this game for 50 hours. It's not a surprise.
So yeah, it's there. It's enjoyable. It's fun if you need a good JRPG. It's one of the most solid JRPGs in a long time. I do wish there was just that little bit of turn-based more to it. Towards to get to the end, as you get to the end, it just becomes pure action RPG. You don't have to put any strategy to anything. You're just constantly calling down stuff. So I'm just hitting buttons at random, calling in people because it doesn't matter. Just bring it on, and there's no strategy needed anymore. So it's all right. It's fun. There's better ones out there in my opinion, but enjoyable all the same.
All right,
and that's it. I'll stop there. I think that was good collection of my games that I've been spending the last 2 weeks on.
Nice. So next, Jason's going to finish Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah, I mean that was what I was pissed off about, is that this game interrupted me in not Zero Dawn, but Forbidden West.
Forbidden West, yeah.
It interrupted my Forbidden West, and it's one of those games, Tales of Horizon is one of those games where you can't stop playing for a while and come back to, because their controller subset, I think we talked about this last time, is so off the walls that you'd forget all kinds of stuff. Like they have certain things you have to hold buttons for a certain amount of time, different combinations of buttons for a certain time, depending on what you're doing. And each character has different subsets to that. So it's super easy to forget what you're doing and makes the battles 10 times harder if you don't remember the special things to do. So it's like, no, I just got to play this all the way through.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks a lot, everybody, for joining us for the I Beat It First podcast. Mm-hmm. We understand that you had a choice in podcasts, and you probably made a bad one, because there was a fuck ton of tangents in this one. But hey, that's all right. Mm-hmm. Our tangents are fun and weird and entertaining and informative sometimes. So that works for it. You can find us at ibeatitfirst.com, which is our main website where we used to write a lot on it, and now it's pretty much just the podcast. That's about all that it is. You can also find us at ibif.co if you need to send people to that in order to get where they can find our podcast. We have 3 podcasts: the I Beat It First podcast, Cutscene, which is our anime watch along podcast, and Patch Notes, where we talk with game developers primarily about them, not so much the games. A little bit about their games, a lot of bit about themselves, because you know what, they always talk about the games every time that they go on an interview, and we're like, yeah, let's talk about them. Let's get to know these people. They're people like us. Maybe Jason might be a lizard person.
They're better people than us.
They're better. They actually are better people than us. That's true. But you can find us Facebook, I Beat It First, Twitter, I Beat It First, Instagram, I Beat It First. Literally just I Beat It First most of the places except for Facebook, because Jason's an asshole and wouldn't get off his ass to fix a small little thing that we had for like the longest time. We just went with it.
Because Facebook. Fuck
and
Facebook.
Also, fuck Facebook. It doesn't really matter. Let's see here. What else can we say? We also have, apparently I need to say Dreams is stinky. Thank you for redeeming that, Kara, in the chat. But you can also find us and join our community on Discord. Just go to discord.ibeatitfirst.com or ibeatitfirst.com/discord in order to join us there. That is where we will be playing V Rising for the foreseeable future in VC. We watch movies, watch anime, do all sorts of stuff in there, just hang out and have fun. So join there if you want to join. If you're in one of our streams, you can always just do !Discord, and it will tell you how to get there as well, so that you can join and have fun with the festivities. But we will raid out to somebody in after we're done with this. We will have to do an exercise that has been put on us. We do have some squats that have to be done, but we cannot go anywhere without Jason saying
bye. Here comes Joe.
I stopped recording right at "Here Comes." I was like,
Oh man.
How dare what? I don't know what's going on here.
Recording stopped.
How dare what?
How dare?
Dare you what? I don't know what you're talking about, Dreams.
Hey, Here Comes 2.
No, that's yeah, Here Comes 2. Bye-bye.
They don't give a crap about that.
All right, so we have to do 10 squats, all of us.
Yep.
Cool. I can do that with my headphones in. I'm excited. Do my old man squats.
My knee was making that weird, like, squishy noise earlier, so let's see how this is going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. James, I don't know why you're angry. Also, sound alerts don't work on this format. Oh yeah, you stinky. Sorry. Hey, someone redeemed it. Someone who shall remain nameless. You totally can't go back and see who it was that redeemed that. Redeemed calling you stinky. So, you know, that's just how it be. All right. Primarily because we can, everybody, we're going to raid into God themselves. Because Whale is streaming right now. So we are going to go ahead and raid Indie Whale, everybody. Whale is playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Right now. So this should be fun. It's so great raiding Whale because they just go nuts. They have no idea what to do with themselves when people raid them. It's great. So we're going to raid into Indie Whale, but thank you everybody for joining us. Also, Dreams, I'm the only one that really reads all these redemptions. Let's be honest here. So if anyone was going to say it, it was going to have to be me. But we're going to raid into Indie Whale.
I'll say it too, Dreams, you're stinky. There you go. Bye-bye. You're welcome. Dreams are stinky. Bye-bye. Bye. Dreams,
Bye,
take a shower.
stinky
You need a
Dreams.
bath. Bye, stinky Dreams. So stinky.
Look.